What's up, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to be doing custom hats. I've been asked if I could put this logo onto a hat and also this logo onto a hat. Let's get started. Hats that we're going to be pressing in today's video. Here, you'll see that this hat, it has a seam down the middle. And so typically I just try to stay away from the seam. So we're actually just going to put that logo that the customer asked for just on this side here. So we'll just put it on one side of the seam, whichever side you prefer. So that's that one. We're gonna do the same thing with this one. We're gonna put the logo just here off to the side. Just try to stay away from the seam. And then these ones, there's no seam in the middle, it's flat. So we're just gonna put the logo nice and big right here in the center. And same with this one. No seam down the middle. We'll make the logo nice and big right here in the center. You're gonna want to take measurements. The way that I take my measurements, you guys, is I'll grab my tape measure. I'll just put it up to the hat. And in this case, for this one, I think about 3 inches in the middle, 3 inches wide, and about 2.5 inches tall. So I'm gonna run with that, and that's what I do. That's how I take my measurements. Then for the one with the seam down the middle, we're gonna have to make the logo a little bit more smaller and off to the side. I'm gonna shoot for about 2.25 inches wide and 2.25 inches tall. And that's how I take my measurements. You guys can take them however you prefer. But that's just how I do it. It works for me. So, all right, now we got to get the logo cut out, or we got to put the dimensions onto the software and then get them cut out on the cameo. As we discussed, this logo here is 2.25 and 2.25. So 2.25 inches, both wide and tall. Dimensions for this one that we're going to center on the other hats without the seam down the center was 3 inches wide by 2.5 inches tall. Now let's send it over to the cutter. Oh, and this logo here, it has a red tip. So I'm going to ungroup this and I'm gonna get that red out of there because I'm going to have to obviously print that red with red vinyl. And I'm just gonna pull this out of here like so. Then we're gonna print that, or send it over to the cutter. Got these set up as so, and now I'm going to mirror these. All right, and now I'm gonna get the cutting mat set up with some black vinyl. So I've got my cutting mat set up. This is going to be for the red. That's part of the logo. I'll show you how to do that. And then this part here is going to be just for the logo itself, and that's just for the red part of the logo. I'm using Caesar Easy Weed Extra. I've used regular just Caesar Easy Weed, and it works just fine on hats. I'm using Extra in this case just because I haven't used Caesar Easy Weed Extra on hats before, and I wanted to see what the outcome is. Hats with this logo. And then we're going to be doing a layer of red. And so I have the 2 red layered set over here on the side of the mat, where I had put the red strip right here in the corner. That's where that red strip is at. That's where that's gonna cut. So let's go ahead and send it now. I use a blade of 3. And with Caesar Easy Weed Extra, I use a force of 20. And let's do a speed of 5. We don't want to go too fast. There's a lot of detail on this stuff. Okay. All right, we're good. We can send as is. It's already mirrored, so we can send as is. So all the black that we need is going to cut here, and then the 2 red layers that we need is going to cut over here on the far right. All right, now let's see how our logos came out. Okay, we got everything cut and weeded. Now it's time to press these onto a hat. All right, you guys, this is my hat press. I got it off of Heat Press Nation. All right, you guys, so the first hat we're gonna do is this one. And when I do hats, I use an oven mitt. Just because I've realized that when you just put the hat on there by itself, it leaves like an air gap in the hat. And I use this just to put the force up against the hat, just so that there's no like air bubbles in the hat, and it gives you better results when you have something pressing up on the inside. You just get better results that way. So I do recommend it. And this is how I go about getting it set up. And so with my oven mitt, I'll just set it right here. Then I'll just take the hat. Okay. Now you'll see that there's no air bubble, and it's a nice flat sturdy surface, and that's what you want to work with. You want to work with a nice flat sturdy surface. You don't want any air bubbles or anything like that. It'll screw up the vinyl. So you just do a test press to see where your pressure is at, and I like that pressure right there. So now we're gonna center the logo on the hat. Okay, so here I have some heat tape, and I'm just gonna put it right here. Now you're gonna wanna center the logo with the seam of the hat. So you see where the seam is, and it's just gonna go right down the center of your logo. And I'm just gonna do that until I get it nice and straight. So I got it on there nice and straight to the best of my abilities, and then I put a piece of heat tape. I put one here, one on top, and then one on the side. And now we're gonna put it back onto our cap press. All right, so we have a nice and firm surface here. So there's no air bubbles here. I don't feel any. It feels nice and tight, nice and firm. And I'll just grab some parchment paper, just go right over the top and go ahead and just give it a press. And we'll do that for 10 seconds. Okay. Now let's go ahead and peel and see how it came out. Ooh, that looks good, man. Let me show you guys. Okay. That looks really, really good. Now we just got to add that layer of red. Take that small layer of red. We're just going to set it right now. We got that layer of red right there where we like it. Put your parchment paper back on there and press it again. Okay. Now let's see. Put that red on there. All right, cool. That looks really good. Wow, that came out really good, you guys. I like it. So that's how the first hat came out. Now we got 3 more that we got to do. Just some other hats that I've made with vinyl. So, whatever we can do with vinyl, we'll try to get it on there. Especially hats. Hats is a huge one. Now here we are working with our second hat that we're going to put the logo on. You got the seam here that you're working with down the center of the hat. Whoops. And then you've got a seam down here that goes straight across the hat. So you want to make sure that the letters go straight across with this seam here, and that it's centered with this seam here. Okay, so once you've got everything on here nice and straight, add your heat tape on each side just to ensure that while you're pressing, the design doesn't move. You want to make sure that the design does not move at all. And again, I've got my oven mitt in here to put pressure up on from the inside coming up to ensure that it's a nice sturdy surface, which it is. It feels really good. There's no air bubbles in there, so that's gonna come out perfect. So let's go ahead and add some parchment paper here. And really great results. I mean, it's tacked on there. That stuff's not going anywhere. Now we're gonna layer the red. This is how our second hat came out. Here we are onto this hat here. I've got the logo set up just as you see. I got the tape there, tape on 3 sides. Now it's ready for a press. After pressing for 10 seconds, let's see what we got. My goodness, that looks good. It's perfect. Just how we want it. All right, there you go. So our third hat came out. Oh my God, you guys. All right, so we screwed up this last hat. The words were all, or the letters were all screwed up. So I put some Albacam VLR vinyl remover on there. And let me show you guys how you can resolve this issue. All right, you guys, so while attempting to press this last hat, the letters got screwed up and there was just no fixing it. So what I have here is I have VLR vinyl remover, and I just apply it. So I just put little dabs of it in there. And I've come across this issue before, and so you know, I was able to resolve it last time, so hopefully I can get it fixed this time. And just let the VLR just sit in there for a second. Just let it do its thing, and then just start scratching the letters off the vinyl. Oh my God. We might be able to save this hat. I think we are. Dang, we got it all off. That looks good. Now what we do is we just type out the word that we need and then just reapply it. We just do it again. But I was able to save this logo here, so we don't have to get rid of that. Now we just got to put the word down at the bottom. We're just going to let this dry, and then we're going to reapply. Dry and reapply. Let's go. Okay, so we screwed that last one up. So now I have the words here, and I'm just going to get them on there, get it placed where I want it, and then I'm just going to try pressing it again. We'll see what happens. Applying the vinyl remover and reapplying, this was the final result. I mean, it's tacked on there. That's not going anywhere. It looks good. It feels good. And so, yeah, there you guys go. I hope you guys learned something today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I'll keep on putting out content like this for you guys. Thanks. Before I forget, you guys, everything that I use in this video, I will link in the description.